Hi guys, it's episode 3 of Brothers, and we are seeing in this FM19 experiment how these two brothers, Bavin Schwarzenegger and Advik Adams, are doing at their respective clubs. So the first one we're going to look at in this save is Bavin Schwarzenegger, who was adopted by Arnold Schwarzenegger. You probably guessed it by the name. He is currently now at RB Leipzig. He's valued at 9.75 million. He's had another 9 games for India, but he's only scored 2 in that time. And let's see at his history. How has he done? So he's only done one season since his 3.3 million move from Orlando City to Leipzig. He's only played 6 games. He's got an average rating of 6.7. Remember, he's still only 18. He's still young. There's still time for him to develop. But in this third year, he's not really done much. Obviously, he finished off his season with Orlando. So overall, his stats for that season were 27 appearances, 5 goals. He didn't register any more assists, but he got 1 more Man of the Match award, a good average rating of 7.14. Let's hope that his average rating can start improving. He can start breaking in to this Leipzig side. But how is his brother getting on? Advik Adams, as you guessed it, he was adopted by Tony Adams, Arsenal legend. His stats, again, haven't really improved at all. We forgot to look at Bavin's stats, so we will go back to that shortly. But Advik Adams, still valued at 1.9 million. He will be joining Seattle on the 7th of March 2022. But has he played any more games for Leyton Orient since? No. It's a bit of a weird one here. Leyton Orient, since he's agreed to join Seattle, they've basically excluded him from the squad. He's not played any game. Maybe he was injured. Let's have a look. 21. Tight hamstring in April. Bruised ankle in May. But that's the end of the season. He had a cold in March. That's it. It's just like from March and onwards, he's not been fully fit. But before that, there's no excuse for why he's not playing. I don't know if there's anything in his notes. Well, I doubt there'll be anything in his notes. But milestones. Yeah, he was a top goal scorer in League 2. Helped them to get promoted, and since he's agreed to join, they won't let him. They won't let him play for some weird reason. I'm not sure why, because obviously he could help them out. How are Leyton Orient getting on? So in their season in the Sky Bet League 1, they finished 14th. Obviously without playing Advik Adams, and I'm really surprised that they're not playing him. He's their best player. If you look at value as well, he's by far 6 times more than Carl Hawkins, who does look pretty good, but he is a centre-back. And that is a strange one. I wonder if he's played any games for India in that time. No. So it's literally he has stalled. And it's not going to be until this time next year that he might start getting games. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on in his 4th season. But this season he has done absolutely nothing. There's nothing about his development in here. No reports. We can't look at that. Obviously Seattle have agreed a fee of $325,000. But I'm really surprised that he's not played any games. I don't know if there's anything more in here. Information. No. Media friendly. Looking forward to moving clubs. There's nothing in here that says why he would not be playing, and it's really weird. No relationship with you, no, obviously, because I'm just a ongoer. But yeah, he's not played any games since he's agreed that move to Seattle, so it's really, really weird. Let's have another look at Bavin again. Let's have another look at that one. Bavin Schwarzenegger. Looking at his stats here, they have not improved really, apart from his dribbling. His dribbling has improved. I don't know if some of these stats have decreased. Off the ball has improved as well. His determination is still at 19. He's still got his pace and everything. But the media description of this player is now classed as a wonder kid. It's finally described him as a wonder kid in this game. It'd be interesting to see once he can start playing. Obviously, he's only played 6 games for Leipzig so far. He's not done too well. Hopefully, we can see an improvement. Now, I quickly wanted to see how Advik's father was doing. Tony Adams is in the game. He's a director of football at Crewe. So it's surprising that he has not brought him in. You know what? I think I might have forgot to set up the relationship with Tony Adams as his father, which would have been interesting because maybe he would have brought him over. Maybe I'll remember that next time in the future if I do one. But yeah, at the moment he's director of football at Crewe. He's not looked at bringing in Advik Adams, who's obviously joining Seattle. Right, guys, so what I'm going to do is, because this episode was really short, because not much has happened, we are going to go on holiday again, and I'm going to simulate this next season, and hopefully these two players will get some more game time. So we will be back once I've fast forwarded into the future. Alright, now that we've skipped through the season, I'm just going to go and see and start off with how Bavin Schwarzenegger has continued at Leipzig, and his stats again seem very similar, but off the ball has increased even more. His pace has increased as well. He's still classed as a wonder kid, and he's now valued at 36 million. It looks like he's probably signed a new contract. He's classed as a key player now, and he's on 36.5 grand a week. And he's played some more games for India. He's now on 32 caps with 18 goals. So it's better than 1 goal every 2 games so far for his country. Let's look how he's done at Leipzig. And his second season at Leipzig has ended pretty well, to be fair. 30 appearances, 9 goals for Leipzig, 3 assists, 1 man of the match award. And his average rating is at 7.07. I do not know if we can... No, I don't think we can see which positions he has played in. But as you can see, he's done pretty well. He's probably played on the left-hand side, I would have thought. Maybe if we have a look at Leipzig, if we go back to that, Leipzig, maybe if we could see their tactics, we'll be able to see where Schwarzenegger is playing. And Bavin, as you can see here, is playing on the right-hand side. Even though he is a left-footer, he's predominantly a left-sided player. They are playing him on the right, which leads me to think they're probably playing him as a an inside forward. But it's been a pretty decent season for him. As you can see, his value's increased. His stats have gone up. I think dribbling's the same. But I think there have been some massive improvements in his stats. And it's going to be interesting to see how Advik Adams got on. Has he moved over to Seattle now? He has. Valued at 2.5 million. 1 grand a week. He's on a 2-year contract. And he has now... featured for India. He has been called up to the national side. He's had 4 appearances over the last year, and he's scored his first goal. Now, we're quickly going to start off by looking at his stats. Again, they look very similar. I think there have been some changes, maybe with his first touch now, but vision has increased to 16. His pace might have dropped a bit as well. He looks like he's put on a bit of weight. But let's see how he's done for Seattle. So... obviously, when it was first announced that he would be moving to Seattle, where he signed a contract with them, they decided not to use him later on in that season. I don't know why, but they must have realised that we need this player. We've got him for 1 more year. We're paying his wages. We might as well play him and try and get promoted. So they did play him last year. 34 appearances for Leyton Orient before he moved. He scored 6 goals, set up 3. Average rating of 6.84, so he didn't play as well. And we're quickly going to see where they finished. So they finished 14th again. So they finished in the same position. But for Seattle, he started 16 games now. He's only scored the 1 goal, 6.79 average rating. Not as good as I would have thought. And let's see which position they're playing him in. Again, even though he's... actually, Advik is the right-sided player. Yeah, preferred foot right. Ideally, I wanted these guys to play as strikers and play together, but the coaches seem to like both of them on the right-hand side. So it'll be interesting to see if they've played together for India, which we will check out very shortly. But yeah, he's not lit up the MLS so far. But again, he is still young. He's only 18 years old. So let's see how these guys have done for their Indian national side. And it's really weird at the moment because you're looking at this. The key employees, their key player is a Wahid Shamsuzaman, who's a 19-year-old player for East Bengal. He's valued at 26,000. His stats are nothing compared, so I'm not sure why he's classed as a key player. Again, the captain, vice-captain, I don't believe they are as good, no. So it's interesting what's happened to these two players. Stephen Constantine is an English manager. How have India done? Actually, before we do that, I just want to have a look at the tactics to see where the guys are playing. But I wanted to know if Advik and Barvin have played together, but they're not in the tactics for the first team. What about the under-23s? They're not in there either. Go back. Under-19s. That's really weird. Both of these players are not in the Indian national side at the moment. Let's see if they've been playing, though. We'll have a look at the fixtures. So, oh, there we go. So, against Vietnam, it was a friendly. They won 5-0. This is where Advik Adams got his first goal. And I wonder if these guys have realised yet that they are actually brothers. It'd be interesting to find out. But Advik Adams has scored either side of 2 goals by Bavin Schwarzenegger, which is really good. Let's see if we can see. It's not going to let us. Can we view the match? No, we can't even see what positions they played for their country in that game. It'd be really interesting to see if one played on the left, one played on the right. It's something that we're not going to be able to see. So, I mean, going long term, I thought we would be able to, but going long term in this save, our main aim, if you haven't seen the other episodes, our main aim now, which has adjusted a little bit, is to have both these players playing at the same club team, preferably one as a left-sided striker, one as a right-sided striker. But we will see what happens. There's still many years to go in this save, but they have played together in the Indian national sides. Advik Adams has got his first international goal. They lost to Australia. The captain Jingan got sent off there. They beat Bangladesh. Gigi with 2 goals there. Nepal, Pakistan. Right, so they've been winning these games. 7-0 they beat Afghanistan. Borat must be unhappy. And in none of these games, Advik Adams and Schwarzenegger have not featured. Which is really weird. Have they been excluded from the national side? I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just being rested. But these are big games. They're the SAF Championship. That was the final. They won the final of the SAF Championship 4-1. Maybe they're saving themselves. I don't know. We will hopefully find out in the next episode whether they've actually played some games. And actually, if it's June 2022, that means it's the World Cup. So let's quickly check this out before we finish this off. World Cup competition. Qatar. It's not started yet. Yeah, it is the... when are we doing it? November. Oh, okay. 21st of November is when it starts. When's the final going to be? Okay, so it's going to be December. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. So I think I'm going to come back on possibly the 5th of December. Actually, I'll come back on the 4th. It's Callum Flavel's birthday on that day. Wish him a happy birthday if you're watching this on the 4th of December. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. For the next episode, we're going to come back. We're going to see how the World Cup 2022 in Qatar panned out, and then we will carry on doing another year as in the Brothers episode to see how Advik Adams and Barvin Schwarzenegger got on. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. Really appreciate you watching, guys. Thank you very much, and take care.